I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist. I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters. The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive this. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim. What else would you like to know? No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work. Something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days. It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies. Not always. Jedi often fall. They cause much harm on Onderon, for example, in the name of peace and protection. Uleg Qel-Droma and Exar Kun, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights, as were Revan and Malak. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after many have fallen and endangered the galaxy. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can change the face of the galaxy. And that is a frightening thing indeed. Hate? No. I do not. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose, and they are supposed to train students responsibly and well, so mistakes of the past. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this. Many Jedi defy the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War. There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exar Kun, Ulig, Revan, and Malak. How could they not see the danger they... Perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed. Something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing. I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain? Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to his apprentice Malak, who turned on him. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. Perhaps in his conversation with the Jedi Masters, they were able to convince him of the rightness of their actions. Revan had many masters. Zar, Dorak, Master K before K left for the wars. Towards the end of his training, he sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that he returned to his first master at the end of his training in order to learn how he might best leave the Order. I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish... What else would you like to know? I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to... What else would you like to know? I do not know if you are aware of how fragile the Republic is at the moment. The Jedi Civil War brought much suffering. Many worlds were destroyed, trade routes disrupted, and the Rip was almost the end. But at that last year, the year before Revan vanished, no one knows why. But it was all that saved the Republic. The fleet the Sith had amassed was no more, and it did not matter. Revan had already... What else would you like to know? Before you go, I had a question for you. What answers do you seek? It has been my experience that Jedi rarely answer such questions. In any case, it seems to me like our goals are If you would have me, I can apply my knowledge and skills to helping you
Look, we're already full up. We don't need anyone else.
Yes? Is something wrong? Of course. I am an historian and scientist working I have some training in the medical arts. If you are ever in need of... I came to Dantooine in the hopes of finding some trace of the Jedi. Yes, I have been trained by some of the best researchers in the but if you ever need some medical items...
Yes. Let us end this.
Braved the perils of the sublevel, yes. Many stories and artifacts in your possession. This is fortuitous for myself and associates. For now, not only do I get rich salvage, but an even richer bounty. Do not be making this difficult. Your death can be quite painless. So, this is your threat? Is Terra what I'm supposed... And now...
Jiren knew the risks. He wouldn't do anything different if he was in our situation.
What? Who is that? Oh, you go down into the sub-levels yet? Or did... It's a shame about them. Have any luck getting to their bodies? I figure there's a... You have? You managed to find them down there? You're tougher than you look. I have 1,000 credits for their bodies and their personal effects. You've proven very helpful. I have something I have to do.
I don't suppose you're here to hire us. It's been a long time since we've had a... What if we do? They're practically begging to be put... You sound like a flaming... So the galaxy is...
I don't suppose you found any of those... There was a time when seeing a Kinrath was a rare thing. They mostly were around some caves to the south of here. But now, they're everywhere. They're dangerous, too. More vicious than they used to be. I'd stay away from the eastern side of the plains. Heck, now that I think about it, stay away from the west, too. The west is filled with Cathhounds. Dantooine is in a sad state these days.
What do you want now?
Welcome back to Kunda. How can I help you? The things that would most interest you are our weapon merchant Anzeron, the leader of our militia. Akere is still around here somewhere too. He sells droid components. Certainly. What do you... You're not. The only heavily armed people that visit us are either salvages or mercenaries.
Hello there. You haven't had any news? You haven't? Well, that's something. I'm the second in command over here, and we keep getting incidents. If you do have trouble, I'm not the one to talk to. This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. So it's like Zeron keeps the mercenaries aren't unreasonable, so he has to get involved. No, maybe we should... All right.
Jenis melaka wachino so impos morcha chani rikasan. Hosmanfu ni wado de kuta maasapa. Hosmanfu ni wado de kuta maasapa. Tongi wamaji. Yumali. Manosaf piti manapasa. Hey, drogo yuto so. Fasa susho.
It's you again. Well, you know who I am. I figure you've got you want some... Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvage... The whole thing makes me sick. Garavik says he won the whole but that was a fair fight. There were witnesses. But nobody remembers you want something. So you did. Here's the credits I told you about. Even with the caves cleared, I imagine. That was very helpful of you. You want something.
I hope that you haven't run into any difficulties you couldn't deal with. Is there anything else I can assist with? What have you learned, Jedi? I hope that you haven't run into any Is there anything else? I have no doubt that... What have you learned, Jedi?
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? You should leave. He's a Jedi Master? Well, the bounty's gonna be that much sweeter then. Nar Shaddaa is paying extremely well for Jedi, especially if they're alive. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-hurting head. Unless you want to wind up dead, leave now. What? That's a Jedi trick! We trained against that during the war. It's a Jedi, man! Kill her before she tries something else!
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Kunda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict. Is this a joke to you? People's lives are at stake. Every action has consequences, no matter how small or insignificant they seem. And even the smallest choice has the potential for harm. The Mandalorian Wars was proof of this. Intentions mean nothing if a greater tragedy is caused. Did you think rushing into battle against the Mandalorians did anything but bring more harm to the galaxy? It only served to bring about a second war more dangerous than the first. Countless Jedi died in both conflicts, and everyone who followed Revan and Malak died or returned to the dark side. Except, conveniently, you. Disobeying the Jedi Council brought about more destruction than the Mandalorian Wars ever could. Countless Jedi lost, the Republic broken, Enough of this. This is not the time for such arguments. The mercenaries have allied themselves with the Exchange and are planning to attack Kunda. They've been holding off for the right moment. And now, since they lost their captive Jedi, they'll attack immediately. I'm going to try to reach Administrator Adari. Time is of the essence.
You are the Jedi I've heard reports of, and I am Ascru, leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine. Straight to the point. I like that. I am planning to take Kunda. According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my men eradicating the people of Dantooine, you will make it easier for me to take Kunda. Of course, I will pay well for your services. You'd better reconsider. I can't have a Jedi interfering with my plans. There is a considerable bounty on your kind that I will collect on.
This could have been handled with much more subtlety.
Men, I trust you can handle this Jedi.
I don't suppose you found any of... That's great news. My office... If you must, but I'd really like to buy them off you. Are you ready to trade? Thanks for your help on this. Here are the credits, as promised. I'll get this to Zeron when I get back to Kun.
Charanana Gundos.
I see you have found the elusive Master Rook. He's told me that his rescue complicated our situation to some degree. I can't say that I anticipated that. I thank you for finding him, though. Rook has informed me that the mercenaries devised a plan of attack to annihilate Kunda itself. I must ask for your aid again, Jedi. Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them. Right now, just us and the militia. I don't want to create a needless panic. But be assured I will make sure that all civilians are warned in time. Though if we lose this battle, nowhere on Dantooine will... Our militia is effective at peacekeeping, but isn't prepared for a full-scale battle. If you can do anything to ready them for the reality of it, that would be helpful. Besides that, look around Kunda and see what you can do to strengthen our defenses. I know that we don't have the perimeter turrets online, and that alone... Zeron says there is a considerable chance they will breach Kunda itself. Anything you can do to slow them down could turn... I have instructed the militia and other Kunda personnel that you are to be provided with anything... Here is a MasterCard key that will open all of the security doors inside. Soon, all the civilians will be evacuated. So if you have any business with them, I suggest you take care of it.
In Soranaka me gunsoji ne Chutako. Insanakan. Chuta kokpa.
Charanana Gundo.
I heard a rumor that the administrator met with a Jedi. If that's true, I'll quit. I don't work for someone that associates with them.
You heard what the administrator said. Each of us has to do what they can to aid in the defense. We'll have time to talk more when this is all.
I'm worried about you. You are trouble, but you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? Inspecting the perimeter, talking to the troops and coming up with a battle. I fought in a war or two, but I'm no general. In my experience... You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be... That's fine. Better take care of any... When you're ready, come back and we can talk about the final... was right about you. You are trouble, but you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? You sure? Once we're done. All right, then we got a lot to do.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. The administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job. That's about it. Now we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come. Let's get ready for the mercenaries. If we fall here, all of Dantooine falls with us.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem. She's inconvenient and doesn't know the chain of command. Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by the Sith. My unit killed. I'll give you one last chance. Then you've allied with these flaming settlers. I was trained at Malak's academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me.
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
So much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from this threat. I'm sorry to offend you. You are, of course, our savior. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will... I am humbled by your generosity. I will put this... Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the Administrator wouldn't have made it without your assistance. In any case, I am free to talk about whatever... There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be difficult for our enemies to detect. We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not endanger the others. We cannot. We have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from... Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here, we can plan a course of action and carry the battle to them. But so far, they remain in hiding, and Jedi continue to vanish and die. You have more questions for me? We are at war, but it is unlike any war we have fought before. We have yet to even meet our attacker. Somehow, our enemy is targeting us through the Force. The gathering of any Jedi seems to attract them like a beacon. So it was necessary to divide our forces and conceal ourselves for a time until we could learn more of this threat. Great tragedies, old battlegrounds, places of suffering, all leave wounds on the galaxy and in the Force. In such places, the deaths of so many echo. So much so that it is difficult to center oneself. By coming here, those echoes serve to mask my presence, allowing me to investigate the ruins and try to find some clues as to who our attackers are. The Miraluka world of KOTOR taught us a terrible lesson. Many Jedi gathered there in an attempt to use the... Now the planet is no more. Master Zar, Master Dorak, and many more perished there, and we do not know why or how. I was not on KOTOR when it was destroyed, but now that it is dead, it has left its echo, like Dantooine. It was after KOTOR that the few of us left realized that wherever we gathered, we were placing others in danger, not just Jedi. You have more questions? We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within us, your loss was a casualty of war. No more. Perhaps that is a question you should ask yourself. It is not something I could help you with, even if I wanted to. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. You have more questions for me? Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows. Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. But a bond that ties two lives together, and with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing. Still, you and your... It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others is... You have more questions for me? Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon... Why would they attack you? There were no... For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Yet, regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means if you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. Do you have more questions for me? I suppose there is something I should show you that will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. Now watch and learn. This form is a Taru. Because it is such an aggressive fighting style, you should only use it against single opponents. And don't try using this form amidst heavy fire. Nothing is more embarrassing for a Jedi than to be cut down by a stray blaster shot. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
Saber. You've destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours. You must. The alternative is only another death. And I would rather die by your hands. I will do as you ask, but I fear the answers you seek of me.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy. Yeah, they're a pretty secretive race. I heard that some of their kind become Jedi, but a Sith? Well, that's a new one. I'm not sure how you'd go about killing one. It'd be tricky. Just mentioning it, she looks like she's suffered enough wounds already, even after the beating you gave her. I heard they had a colony on the Mid-Rim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left. Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though.
You spared her. I did not believe you would. I am more concerned about what she will do when she recovers. Just be careful. Not everyone can be saved. Yes? Is something wrong? Certainly. Let me... That is hardly a surprise. I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Forgive me, but you are that Jedi. I wanted to discuss why you chose to leave the Jedi Order. Perspective. Nothing more. I see. And because... Do you have a record of this trial? That is a shame. I feel nuances are often found when... Well, it is not solely professional interest. I confess I have a passion for Jedi records and lore. I appreciate your trust.
Yes, General? Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with a...
My life for yours. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. My master was aware. There is little my master does. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him. And if I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, it would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot, I will not. I would die first and gladly, now that I have found you. I felt you.
You have befriended the seer. Her species does not see as we do. They perceive the galaxy through the Force, and it is how she found you. It is a rare gift squandered on. The Sith carry the battle to you, and you spare them. And as we travel, the empty places of this ship are filled. I hope your thoughts in this matter are clear. If you take her on as a servant, know that the Sith meet their end at the hands of their apprentices. It is not something I would wish to happen to you. This one you have saved has other masters. Though blind, she has ties to darkness. Her presence here is a threat to us, to you. Do not underestimate her or her loyalty. Perhaps. I am not convinced. Did he? And what do you make of it? You are right to trust your instincts. Something is wrong. It is only a matter of discovering what and why. If your instincts lead you to an answer, seek me out. Perhaps we will discuss more.